President John Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, Right Honorable Alban Babin, Speaker of Parliament, the Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Deborah, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior presidential staffers, honorable ministers, honorable members of Parliament, revered traditional leaders, valued investors, distinguished commanders of our security forces, our youth, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Fellow citizens, it is a great honor and privilege to address you today on behalf of the many people who contributed to shaping the program that the President will launch in a few minutes. My remarks today will cover 3 key points: an overview of the program's format, a look ahead at our implementation plans and our facilitation of that implementation, and words of gratitude to those who have helped bring us to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, several 24-hour-plus programs and documents have been in circulation for a while, in print and online. Let me briefly explain belatedly the format we used in developing the program. The program is available in a full version, an executive summary, and 8 sub-program books, each of which is self-contained but part of the whole. For example, if your primary interest is infrastructure, you can read just the Connect 24 sub-program. This will provide you with our complete infrastructure program and sufficient material to contextualize it as part of a broader program. We will soon produce abridged versions, popular summaries, and animations to help communicate program ideas and aspirations more widely. We hope you enjoy reading it and will share your reflections with us. We are also in touch with the Bureau of Ghana Languages so that we can disseminate the content of this program as simply, as effectively to all our people, everywhere, every hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in implementation mode. We have divided the program into around 50 separate commercial, institutional, and social projects. We are writing concept notes for the first 20 of these projects. These concept notes have so far been our primary tools for engaging with institutional stakeholders, including local and foreign entrepreneurs, financiers, donors, contractors, CSOs, MDAs, MMDAs, community leaders, youth leaders, and others. They will be available on our website for interested persons to engage. We are pursuing several other targets in parallel. Firstly, on an ongoing basis, we have begun to the work of aligning our project with our current and planned government initiatives to minimize overlaps and increase synergy. For example, we have worked closely with the Minister of Agribusiness, Trade and Industry, Madam, to ensure that our respective textiles and garments programs complement rather than compete with each other. This effort culminated in an industry roundtable on June 9th, where stakeholders discussed the direction of textiles and garments policy and identified locations for future textiles and garment parks. The parks will not only be in Accra or in Tema, they'll be distributed across the country so that we can industrialize every aspect of the country where it's required and deemed bankable. Similarly, we're in the process of structuring and negotiating the concession regimes for the Volta Lake Economic Corridor with Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, VRA, and the Ministry for Energy and the Green Transition. Secondly, we have presented our 24-hour-plus incentives package along with its impact assessment report to the Ministry of Finance for final review and adoption. Our proposals to the Finance Minister aim to simplify incentives and eliminate unnecessary bureaucratic discretion, thereby discouraging arbitrariness and facilitating the automation of processes. Thirdly, we are conducting feasibility studies on commercial projects, aiming to have priority projects investment ready by year's end. Indeed, we have learned that some priority projects already have bankable feasibility studies that only need updating. Fourthly, and very importantly, with the guidance from the Bank of Ghana, in collaboration with Development Bank of Ghana, Venture Capital Trust Fund, and Ghana Exim Bank, we must finalize and are in the process of finalizing our SME on-lending platform and our value chain lending scheme so that funds can flow to the 24-hour economic projects and the qualified entrepreneurs who run these projects. Fifthly, ladies and gentlemen, we are activating the mobilization component of the program. Aspire 24 and Go 24 may appear 7th and 8th on our list of sub-programs, but they are not afterthoughts. Everything is integrated. Aspire 24, mindset change, digital fluency, Go 24 will ignite a spirit of self-organization and civic responsibility among Ghanaians at the community level where we live, work, school, worship, and play. Communities must be empowered to address local challenges, and ultimately we need to build a truly participatory democracy that functions effectively at the national, district, and sub-district levels. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we will soon become a statutory authority. The appropriate legislation is being finalized for onward transmission to Parliament. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have made a significant leap towards our goal. We are very, very, very early in the long journey that the President has described. The road may be long, but we are ready, able to walk it. We hope to walk this road with all of your support. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank those who have helped us to get to this far. The program was framed, developed, tested, written up, and illustrated by a dedicated, talented, youthful workforce and professional team between January and May 2025. Their ages range from 24 to 69 years old. I'm not the 69-year-old, by the way. I am personally grateful to every member of the Secretariat for your faith in Ghana, your long nights, your imagination, your competence, and your rigor. I could not have asked for a better team. However, ladies and gentlemen, the Secretariat is the first to admit that we stand on the shoulders of others. We must acknowledge, Your Excellency, the leadership of President Mahama, whose vision for a productive, prosperous, integrated, innovative, and equitable society has driven the development of the program. The vision, however, did not take shape in isolation. Much of the initial analysis was done by the NDC's 2024 Manifesto Committee, chaired by Comrade Danso Boafo, who is currently the Cabinet Secretary. Special tribute is due to the members of the 24-hour Economic Task Force team and the Jobs and Employment Subcommittee of the Manifesto Committee. Time will not allow me to mention each of you by name, but I believe that your names are being scrolled as I speak on the screens. And thank you for your remarkable effort and dedication, and your contributions are deeply appreciated. A detailed analysis of the challenges entrepreneurs, especially exporters, face were provided by individual intrepid entrepreneurs, both large and small, who know the system intimately. These producers and their associations are AGI, Association of Ghana Industries, FAGE, Federation of Ghanaian Exporters, GUTA, Ghana Union of Traders, GAU, PFAG, Ghana National Association of Cattle Farmers, the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce, and others also highlighted the opportunity cost of our broken system. They propose well-thought-out solutions, some of which we have included in the program. We are grateful to the development financial institutions, private foundations, development banks, and international agencies, especially Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, Development Bank of Ghana, Ghana Exim Bank, UNDP, and the African Development Bank for their invaluable support in shaping both the financing and strategic architecture of the 24-hour economic program. Without the guidance of Dr. Ato Forson, Dr. Johnson Asiama, and the expert teams at the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Statistical Service, and the Ghana Revenue Authority, much of this program would not have been possible. I would also like to thank my colleagues in the government, the Office of the President. The Office of the President has led the program steadily and consistently and unfailingly. The Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, has continuously provided guidance and support. The Senior Presidential Advisor on Governmental Affairs, Valerie Sawyer, has been endlessly kind, helpful, and wise. The Cabinet Secretary, Professor Danso Boafo, has on many occasions guided us safely and smoothly through turbulent waters, as well as saved us when we needed help in presenting matters to the Cabinet. And of course, Dr. Kalistus Mahama, the Secretary to the President, has always found space for us in His Excellency's incredibly busy schedule, in addition to graciously reviewing documents meant for public distribution. Our dear friend, former Attorney General Marietta Brew, now the President's legal advisor, has offered very valuable legal insights. Seth Tekpe has always been a clear voice on economic management, and he's always been a good comrade. And without Mausi Jirasa, our team would never have figured out how to navigate the complexities of Jubilee House. I must recognize the profound support of the Cabinet. 24 Hours is a truly multi-sectoral program that touches every ministerial sector of government. Progress would not be possible without the active support of ministers. However, in terms of the productive industries that the program seeks to transform, we must single out the Ministers for Trade and Industry and Agribusiness, Elizabeth Ufusu Ajari, Madam. Eric Opoku, Minister of Agriculture. Madam Emilia Arthur, Minister of Fisheries. Madam Jifa Ablagomashi, Minister of Culture, Theatre, Arts and Tourism. We really do thank you for your patience and your willingness to make your institutional capacity available to drive our different sub-programs. Lastly, and not the least, I commend the leadership of our security services. With facilitation from the National Security Council and National Security Advisor, we've held constructive engagement with the armed forces, the police, immigration, prisons, fire service, customs, cybersecurity agency, and the National Signals Bureau. These institutions have demonstrated a clear understanding of the strategic implications of the 24-Hour Plus program and are already implementing measures to safeguard our national stability as the transformation unfolds. Indeed, I believe that ports, police, well, they've always been somehow 24-hour. Ports, police, and GRA are now on a 24-hour footing to complement the efforts of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other ministries, Ministry of Local Government, and so on. So thank you all very much. We salute all of you, your commitment. We at the Secretariat are confident that we will continue to receive constructive criticism and suggestions for further improvement. Criticism is always welcome. We see the 24-hour program as a living program, rooted in science and firm social democratic principles, but flexible enough to respond tactically to a changing environment. We will learn many lessons along the way and make numerous adjustments. The bow that doesn't bend always breaks. This is the only way the program can transform our society in the short, medium, and the long term. Ladies and gentlemen, the task that Ghana has undertaken and that our Secretariat is supporting is a challenging one. However, the social and political costs of inaction are terrifying. I'll repeat that. However, the social and political costs of inaction are terrifying. This is a sensible program with substantial upsides. The people of Ghana are very capable, very resilient, and today they are inspiringly led by Your Excellency. We can say without a doubt that our President is a true champion of responsible entrepreneurship in national transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, we as a country, we as a people have what it takes. And with your support, we will succeed. Thank you, sir.